So we do have the extension confirmed. I haven't checked to see if the dates actually are noted in the calendar, so I'll double check that. I'm actually due for a bit of an update generally to everyone. So in the update, I'll confirm that the tech week is consistent with our crewing schedule for day one, is consistent with the extension that has just been confirmed. Thank you, producing. Thank you, MD, for supplying me with the goods. Thank you. And then also in the update, I'll send over some petty cash and reimbursement policies. I feel like there has been a lot of like, not a lot, but like money that has been spent recently. So I just want to make sure that we're fulfilling what we need to do on the TIF side in order to get our reimbursements back and to also start the process of reconciliation. Typically, on the PM side, I think Carlos and I both really enjoy when we can have a bit of a reconciliation ahead of Tech Week, just so that we can see where finances are. So if you have receipts kind of, around, please keep them with you. Physical copies is what Talk is Free needs. And then I'll send over all the policies around how we submit for reimbursements. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I think maybe if Dustin can hear, but maybe Arcady, you can also speak to this. I feel like just invoicing, like the person who purchased the thing on Marketplace, invoicing personally, and maybe a screenshot of the sale. What do you think?
Yeah. What becomes really difficult and sometimes beneficial are cash purchases. But the well, no, I think a screenshot should be just fine, right, Dustin?
I think so. I think if we just have like the screenshot of the item and then like the screenshot of like the agreed price in the conversation, I think that should do it.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, I don't know what y'all need for your audits, but yeah, I can also send that in the big policy email. Thank you. Yeah, we just got those policies from Kara yesterday. So just a note that today is actually her last day. So any reimbursements will only happen following the 12th, which is when she's back. Yeah. Ote. Just a reminder that there's going to be a PM switchover. I go on tour in New York beginning of Jan. So Carlos is actually going to start being more of the lead PM in the new year. So he'll lead probably the next production meeting and be more responsive to notes. Connor is just bringing a couch down from the stage. It's amazing. Okay. List of rentals. This is maybe more for sound and lighting, but would love if folks want to speak to set. What we have on our rentals list right now are rentals and things to purchase and like things to like get for TLC. Step units. So there's like a 3-step unit, I believe, 8 inches rise per step for both sides. We'll talk more about handrails, but we have to get handrails specifically for the audience and then potentially more for the actors. So we'll get that. Felt pads for chair and for couch. We've done the bolts for the table, yeah? That's been done? I just looked at it. An elf came in and did it apparently. We will take a look. Okay. I just saw it and I was like, oh, it's already done. I know Carlos was in the space earlier, so maybe. DMX cable for our VLs. Some riggable full spectrum active speakers. This is on your list, Eric, but I mean, we can also take it on if you have a lead of like where you want to get stuff, like we'll coordinate that.
I'm just still waiting to hear back from JT. That's my lead.
Okay.
But when I hear, I can send things over to you to make sure it works money wise.
Yes, money wise, and also like we're trying to coordinate a big transport schedule. So like the 12th will obviously be a big haul out of the rehearsal hall to the space. So if we can kind of coordinate all of our rentals to happen at the same time, that would be so beautiful for our transport budget.
Yeah, great.
Thank you. Bobo balloons, we still have not done our test, so that will need to happen shortly. I think, Jeff, we can talk about this in the lighting section, but I think we're waiting on basically you and Monica to kind of settle on what product you want, and then we can go from there.
I think Maria has purchased some.
Oh,
I know
shit.
she has purchased some.
Okay.
She says she has experimented with them and they seem very durable.
Oh, okay.
So there's some preliminary testing is happening.
Great. So maybe we'll double check with Varia.
Yeah.
I guess the balloon thing, I'm not quite sure where it lives, like which
I
department.
think we should decide or establish that right now.
I agree, but Varia's not here, so it's like hard to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's decide that in a moment. Shopping list. Okay, so because Carlos isn't here, I'll confirm a deadline for when we're going to do the Bobo testing and need some more information on our rentals. But I would imagine like first week of Jan, if we can kind of figure out all departments, like what things we need so that we can go and coordinate when to get them for the 12th. And budget. I'm gonna go through the budget just very quickly, folks. And I'm gonna see if I can do this in a hybrid way so that everyone can see. But whether you're spending money or not, I think it's just good practice to know how this show is tracking the budget. Okay. So now gather around, children. Okay, sure. So the budget is on the front page here. And I apologize, I have not actually like gone through this with y'all because I just made assumptions that y'all knew what I was doing. So this is our open budget. Everything that Dustin has given production has been approved and popped into this budget. We've reallocated based on what the needs are of the show. And that's why we see how each department, each budget line has been allocated. The black cells are like the total amount, and everything under are sub accounts that are specific to like certain needs of the show. So for example, sound and music, because sound and music is technically two departments, we have an overall budget of $1,000. We also recognize that like there are some hard rentals that Eric will need, and also maybe some other rentals that Stefan would need. So yeah, in the revised budget here, we've sort of broken out that $1,000 that Dustin has given into something that we think would be reflective of a speaker rental and a, actually, we reduced your budget and gave it to elsewhere. But I think this is what we practically need for sound and music. Actuals, pending, and running is really stuff that I and Carlos will be handling. But just so y'all know, the summary is really what y'all are looking at in the revised. All of these tabs here are our expense reporting. So maybe for Heather, I'm going to pick on you, Heather.
Sure.
Rehearsal expenses, SM. You have what? $150. We've reduced yours too. $150. You're under general production expenses. So you would hit the general production tab. You would go to the sub account. You would say, oh, this is for rehearsal expenses. And then you would pop in all of your info here. The budget does include HST, so it will summarize the HST amount, which is like what TIFF typically operates off of. They like include all of the HST within their budget, and then that will be populated into the summary. Does that make sense? Like ultimately, I just wanted to say that as we're thinking about reconciliation and submitting our receipts and all of that fun financial jazz, the expense reporting would be super helpful to me if you could just go into your own department and pop in all of the information from your receipt. And then give me the physical receipt. Or Carlos.
If there is, like, do you want us to print things out if it's just like a digital
Oh.
thing or?
That's a good point. Yeah, I know TIFT is like all about physical receipts. So Dustin, what do you think?
Yeah, I think And Arcady, correct me if I'm wrong. I think if it's something that like comes digitally, like I don't know, a receipt a for Zoom, for example, then it can be sent and it gets printed
Oh,
at the
Yeah, so
office.
any purchase
Yeah.
that is digital purchase, you pay online and things like that, you cannot have a physical receipt of. So the digital receipt is fine. But if you're going into Dollarama
Sure.
and there is a physical receipt, then we need a physical receipt because that's how the purchase was made. Really, the key is how the purchase is made. And to get money issued, digital receipt is fine, but when we give it, physical receipts might be provided. So in order to reconciliation to be complete.
great.
But digital receipt is enough to issue payment for people.
Okay, so physical receipts when they exist and digital receipts are fine. Those
Correct.
go into in the production drive. There is a receipt folder. You can pop in your receipts there as long as they're labeled.
Basically, how you purchase. If you purchase online, you cannot have a physical receipt. If you purchase in person somewhere, then you do.
Awesome.
And yeah, and I think as a rule of thumb, Crystal, if you are submitting a Dollarama receipt, it's great to also throw a picture of that receipt into that PM folder because Crystal, Carlos, and I also have to reconcile everything before it goes to Kara. So
And
Yeah,
if I may,
in a perfect world, I would love all the
yeah,
receipts to be digitized and have the physical receipts when they exist. But if it feels like it's way too much, I will also throw this in kind of that production update. But if it's too much, I'm happy to receive the receipts and do that recon too. Yeah. Thank you, Dustin. Yes, Arkady.
very important, a receipt is an itemized receipt, not a credit card slip. Credit card slip is not actually an eligible reimbursement material because it basically says that you paid. It doesn't say what it's for. It doesn't say what the tax is. It doesn't say any of those things. So in situations where I don't know what it could be, but anyway, it has to be a physical receipt, not a credit card slip. I fight with people all the time and everywhere where they say, "Can I have a receipt?" and they give me a credit card slip.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, those were all of my updates. Thank you for giving me 17 minutes to talk about budget and policy. All right, we're going to move to stage management. My first question before we dive into rehearsal updates is really just the humble throughs or the stumble throughs. And if we're good, if we know when those are happening, okay.
My hope, and I feel like we are on a path for this, is a true humble through on January 3rd of the deposition. We're probably stopping and figuring out some transitions and everything, but I would say a very clear sketch of all the work from the whole show on Jan 3rd.
Dylan, please approach the podium. We could not hear.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Dylan is also masking. So
January 3rd, we are the original plan was a stumble through of Act 1. But I think we're at a point where we can hope that we'll do a stumble through of everything on Jan 3rd without Jeff Irvin because he won't be here.
Great.
But yes, I think designers can see where people will be in space pretty accurately on Jan 3rd.
And are designers able to make it to that? Excellent. Okay, so I guess maybe no need for a zoom into that, hopefully. Great. And then is there going to be another humble beyond that?
Jen, like last day in the hall.
Okay.
And possibly another one if we really are in a position to do so. But those two for sure.
Great. So maybe Eric and Jeff, it would be really great to know if you feel comfortable with that schedule of stumbling as it relates to your plot deadlines. I mean, what is a plot deadline? You've sort of given us a plot already. But yeah, just maybe I kind of look to you to see if you need more time in terms of the deliverables for production. If you feel last day in hall and on Saturday is enough, then great.
Works for me. Yeah, I'll be there Saturday. I'm gonna try and come in at least one more day next week as well.
So. Eric, you feeling good about that?
Yeah, that's good for me too. Jeff, maybe just shoot me a text the day you're gonna go in next week, and I'll try to come in the same day. Then maybe you and I can have a chat.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
totally.
great.
Great. Okay. Stage management.
I don't have a whole lot to say that hasn't gone into rehearsal notes, other than if anyone has any questions about the rehearsal notes, I would love to answer them. But they can happen as we go through departments.
Sure. Any questions for stage management off the bat? That is right here. Okay,
Great.
cool, sick. Maybe Heather or Connor, could you provide any updates on like how fittings have gone? How's costumes doing?
We have some more fittings today. I think they've been going pretty well. We've got a lot of things done. There's some additional ones today. Yeah.
No.
Nope.
Yeah. There's most everyone seemed very happy with how things were looking and feeling on those first couple days, and there's a couple follow-ups happening today.
Cool.
We're in a good position. I think Sierra is the one that's still a work in progress, figuring some stuff out because of items from home.
Gotcha.
We are in a very, very good place.
Great.
And I think under budget.
Let's keep to it.
We do have Jen.
Yep.
Laundry.
Yeah.
For the show. I don't know. It wasn't my
Yeah.
contract. It wasn't.
Not mine either. Who would be doing it?
Oh, Dustin?
Yeah, I think we have to decide who is doing it. Do we know about the facilities at the theater center?
Yes, they have a washer and dryer. It would be a shared one with whatever's going on in the incubator, if there's anything going on in the incubator.
There is in the last week. Yeah, in
Okay.
the last week, yeah. But we'll have I think 1 week to kind of do our own like system of it before we start
Okay.
sharing it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it'll likely end up being Connor.
Okay.
So Connor, you and I can chat about that. But yeah, Crystal and Carlos, let's all touch base first, and then we'll go from there.
And I guess who's like kind of doing, I just worry that maybe this is a question for Varia, if there's going to be like maintenance paperwork around which items can just be vodka'd and like which items are actually.
I did that last year, so I can ask her for one.
Okay, excellent. Great. Any other questions about costumes? Cool. I did have a question just about, okay. I lost my train of thought. You go first.
Sure. It just Aaron and I are
Yeah, so now that Stefan, I'm going to say this out in the world because I know Varia is going to look at the recording, but because Stefan and Aaron are not on TMA contracts, they do have the option of like being costumed. If the budget can handle it, then maybe Varia can suggest something, but are you comfortable like pulling from your wardrobe as well?
I'm very comfortable pulling from my wardrobe. I don't know if there's anything that Ari will like.
Oh yeah.
But happy to do it, yes.
A dramaturgical question perhaps of
Yeah.
like, who are you?
There's also
What are you?
the question of, because we do have sub like playing other shows.
Yeah.
That they will also need something.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good point. Okay. Can we leave it in your court to see if Aaron is comfortable like loaning things from his wardrobe potentially as an option for Varia?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm sure Aaron would be happy to have it.
Okay, cool. And I guess I don't know if you have a direct link to the sub, but if Aaron could also ask the sub if they're comfortable. Like we don't know, like obviously it would be something that's like pretty neutral. If we do go that route, I don't think we're asking musicians to purchase anything on behalf of the show. So yeah.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you.
For wardrobe, do we have a list for riders yet, or it's still in development?
just gonna ask that. Do you know who's tracking that? Like the list of things that are being rented by actors?
Oh, I have most of them.
Oh,
You have to
okay,
double-check
excellent.
my list,
Okay, great.
like most of the things that people brought.
Okay, great. And were there any like specific notes? Like people were like, oh, please only dry clean this. Okay, cool.
See, the Jenny dress is a friend of mine's, and it's like a sweater dress. So I need to ask her how that needs to be cleaned. Throw it in the laundry.
Yeah, exactly. So, Dean, if you're kind of holding that, maybe in consult with stage management, can we just make sure that we're asking, if we are very sure on those items, let's itemize it in like a spreadsheet and then ask them, is there a specific way you want this cleaned? And maybe like also, sometimes we can be very careful during the run, but maybe towards the end of the run, we're like actually dry cleaning pieces back. Like if anything needs to be dry cleaned, it would be great to know so that we can budget that.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure this was already discussed, but I need to know what we are paying for a rental fee and the replacement cost for the riders.
So Dustin, I feel like that's a you and me and Carlos collab on like, let's put a proposal out there for the actors.
For sure.
What info do you need? Like, should we also ask them, how much did you pay for this?
Yeah, I mean, I think the replacement value is always the one that's hardest to just judge.
Yeah.
So yeah, we should get the replacement value from them, and then we should offer a rental fee.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Dean. Okay, so Dean will do that. And when's the next opportunity where we'll be chatting with actors about this? Is it like the next sitting?
There's nothing scheduled. I just looked.
Excellent. Great. Thanks, Dean. Okay, anything else for costumes? We don't have Monica today, but anyone know anything about props? Props updates.
I have props questions, props suggestions. I'll
Great.
go through quickly and I'll come over so it's audible.
Sure.
Joints are cut. They will be mimed-ish, so there are no joints. The cocktail glasses, Monica, if you're listening, little tiny mason jars like jam jars. I have one or two I can give you as a reference. The bar, this is where the sets end and props begin. The bar cart desperately needs WD-40, so we can test it if it needs to be replaced. I don't think we need to replace it.
I also think this was a Christmas elf that fixed this over. I don't know.
Oh yeah, the table is not fixed. Table is still missing. That
Okay,
screw.
okay,
Yeah.
then never mind.
Yeah.
It's just my Delulu brain. Okay.
The sheet. So we need to try some options for the sheet. This is huge for the sheet for the Barcelona scene, because that's something we have to rehearse with. So we have a sheet here that is an option, but probably we need something a bit bigger, which was in notes some time ago.
Yeah.
Anything else, Dean? Well, I mean, I don't know if this is all the questions of balloons. How many? I think a minimum of 12 is what we need. The mason jars, we have several. Again, probably 16 total mason jars would be a minimum with fairy lights in them. The pillow is, I think, set, so that's not a problem. Dimensions were in notes. They have to fit in a piano bench.
Yep.
Well, maybe I think that's it for props.
Do we have an
Now
app?
that we're talking about it,
Yeah.
I'm wondering about for the Harry and Sarah scene, if we can attach bottles to a tray and then there's one that they lift.
That's a good
just for the
idea.
speed of transition
That's a
to that
really
thing.
good idea. Yeah.
Everything being attached separately.
Yeah.
Tape.
I have one tray that I think we're going to keep for the breakfast scene, so we'll also need a tray for that. I bet Monica has something like that, probably, right, Monica? But it's a question of if attaching stuff will compromise the tray itself.
And can we also please just make sure that there's no glass on stage? I have had show stops my last 2 shows because there was surprise glass that broke. And I would love to just not have like actual glass, or if it's actual glass, have it taped or
I think we're gonna have to tape.
something.
Have it taped.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because it just happens twice to me recently and it's awful.
We can cut the jars for the hand props, but there are stationary mason jars with lights throughout the design.
That's all totally good. If it's stationary and like we can tack it down, that's good. And I don't think we need to cut anything. We just need to like make sure that if it falls on the ground, it doesn't
That's part
smash.
of it. A jam jar is less durable than like a cocktail glass, probably. So
totally.
Okay.
Totally. And there are ways we can make them.
Yeah, broken glass and a history of problems with broken glass myself. So I'm
How have the response been to rehearsal notes for props? Okay, have props been coming in? Oh, haven't gotten anything. Okay.
Not since the beginning.
Not since the beginning, yeah.
Yeah,
Not
at the
since
beginning we
first-
got stuff.
Sorry, yes, but not since the first all stuff.
I have, by the way, I've got a pitch pipe. I don't know if it's a good pitch pipe, but that was in notes. I brought one in. Maybe you could take a look at it today. It's a very inexpensive silver pitch pipe.
Cool. So the stuff that was listed, I can't just find around the church.
Yeah, we've had some rehearsal stuff that we just found
Gotcha.
around here.
I guess
but-
I'm just trying to get the temperature on like how the conversation's been with Monica so far, because it feels like there's a lot of notes coming in. I just want to make sure that she's seeing it.
I'm not too much.
You haven't talked too much, sure? What do you think?
No, not.
Okay. Might be good to meet with Monica now because there's like a volume of notes. So let's just make sure that she's like prepared for it. Okay, thank you.
I would say highest priority is fabric sheets for this.
Yeah.
To affect all of our staging, and we're staging it today. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just wondering maybe to help make things more efficient for props, if we can like, consolidate all the outstanding notes. Today, I'm gonna also spend some time like fixing all the things that have come in through the notes as well. So that'll be on me. But like things that are missing in rehearsal that like need to be in for practical staging reasons, like it'd be good to like maybe add that as like a high priority for
Great.
Monica. Yeah. It's busy time, so I totally get it. Okay, anything more for props?
Brown, we'll need to work with a brownie at some point.
Yeah.
The real thing, bro.
Yeah, is that something that maybe stage management y'all can just get? Cool.
We're doing that today, so the next time we touch on that.
Yeah.
And we have a nut allergy, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Any other allergies in the cast?
The person eating it has no allergies. It's fine. Yeah, peanuts in it or nuts in it would just make it so that I can't deal with any of the props. So
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Is fine. Is generally speaking fine.
Okay. Yeah, I think maybe that's another, like any consumable props is another like, we should meet with Monica to figure out what that actually means because I'm sure there's like more efficient ways of just rather than going to the grocery store and purchasing one brownie every time. Right? Yeah. Can we make a tray? I don't know.
What about helium, all that stuff?
Yeah, that can go on our shopping list. But again, like I'm having trouble understanding who I'm taking direction from, like just with the product. And then, once knowing that we need, 12 balloons? Like I need a confirmation on how many balloons we're actually having so that I can figure out what the helium tank needs to be.
Bobo balloons and additional decorative balloons, if budget permitting, space permitting. But it's Varia and Monica in collaboration, and if there's a light in it, then it's all three of them working together.
Okay.
But let's acquire the Bobo balloons.
Yeah.
And then let's start figuring out how to get lights in them, how to get helium in them, and where they go in space.
Gotcha. Okay, this might be a good segue into lighting. My first question for you, Jeff, is like, have you been a part of any of this Bobo conversation?
Not since our previous production meeting.
Um,
Not really. I guess my on that front, like the balloon specifically front, is my curiosity is how do they light up? Like, do I need to plan circuits for them, or are they battery things, or what that is? But
My understanding and expectation has always been their battery, they're switched on before the audience comes in and switched off at the end of the night.
totally.
If they're very high up, they're on a string and we pull them down. I'm miming right now, and then we turn them off and then we let them float back up.
Okay.
And they hold helium for a very long time, much longer than a typical balloon glass.
Okay,
Right.
that's a really helpful question. So maybe on that, like, what are the other dimmable things that you don't expect the actors to operate? So like, it sounds like the lamp will be a dimmable thing.
Yeah.
Are there other things on like set deck wise, Jeff, that you think that you're
Just
questioning whether it's an actor thing or a dimmer thing?
no, nothing actor wise, I don't think.
The actors don't operate the balloons. They don't turn lights on or off on balloons. It's all
Yeah.
pre-show,
Gotcha.
post-show,
Gotcha.
permanently on. We never go to full black.
Okay. Cool.
Unless you want to go to full black, and we'll figure out how to do that.
No, I don't think it would be possible for us actually. So
Either or necessary.
yeah, agree.
Great. So we really just need to know from Varia, like, what were these balloons that were purchased? And
She
Yeah.
seems to be on it. Like she seems to have acquired some and has been playing with them and seeing. I don't know. If she
no,
has
that's great.
lights.
That's great that she's like on it, but there are other people who need to be involved
I
on
know,
it
but
too, right?
I don't have space to be.
No, it's
coordinating
not you.
with
It's not you. I'm not saying it's you.
Yeah.
I'm saying that it just, I'm saying it in the recorded session that Varia needs to speak to props and to lighting in order to make the decision. So if she's purchased a bunch of balloons that don't actually work for lighting, then we're gonna have to return them and kind of start the process again. But maybe I'll touch base with Varia about that. Okay. And the hope is we bring the balloons in the space so that you can actually see them.
Yes.
It's not supposed to add labor to you.
Totally,
It's like,
totally.
you know.
And while we're on the topic, the lights in the jars, the decision about what lights in these jars has to be
Yeah.
made, purchased, and all that.
Exactly, yeah.
Totally.
They're not things that affect us in rehearsal, but they're things that as soon as we're in the space, we're going to need to know where they go.
Yeah.
And make sure the battery pack is small enough that it's not like ruining the image.
Yeah, and you had a really great link here, Jeff. Maybe-
Yeah, I'm happy to pull the trigger on those if like 12 of them for $18 sounds like amazing
Yeah.
for us. And they look like exactly what I think we'll need for the mason jar ones.
Great. So, and the mason jars, some of them are quite large, and we'll have some that are medium. But those look good to me.
So I can actually order it
Great.
right now, by now. And then we'll have it in rehearsal for you to check out, Jeff. My one concern is like, how annoying will it be to change out the battery if they're going to
Totally.
be on like all day, every day? Yeah.
No, we might have to have a lot of replacement batteries.
Yeah, but if it's like a screw thing, you know,
Oh,
like
yes.
that's going to be
Uh,
annoying AF for you.
I mean, yes, but also with the that's fine.
No.
It looks like they're a little like plastic compartment thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can scheme to have them accessible.
Awesome. Okay.
I just have a question about like with all these like little practical and stuff. Like, are there moments? I assume that there are moments where, you know, it's just these like practical lights on, and I'm wondering if like ever a musician having an iPad is going to disrupt, or you will not want that sort of. No, that's fine.
No, I don't. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, I'm going to in some way dedicate light to just be for you. So in a way, I think you'll kind of be sort of grounded, doesn't change too much.
Okay.
Illuminated worlds, you know, so I can kind of control if there is like a really isolated moment in one part of the room or whatnot, I can like pull that down a little bit.
Cool.
But that way it's still you're blended into the rest of the world. And I'm never really that bothered by iPad Lite.
Okay, fantastic. I'm likely going to be using my physical score, but I think Aaron prefers the iPad, and then I don't have to print out or get Heather to print out anything. I just send Aaron everything, and he's got it on his iPad. So,
Great.
Thank you.
So you're thinking like something consistent, Jeff, like a parked look for music?
Well, like I'll have a special or two hung above them and point them at them and program that through.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Anything more, Jeff? Practical light wise?
I don't think so. I saw while I was in the hall the other day, I saw there's one the festoon lights, there's one string of those in the box there. Is that all of the stuff that existed from Cock, or like I wonder if we need to buy another one of those too?
The festoon lights that came in, is that all
I don't
that
know
came
what
from
the
Cock?
steam light is.
The string
Sorry,
lights.
they're like the string lights.
Oh, they're back there.
Yeah. Was the question, are they the ones from Cock?
Or is that it?
I don't know, but no idea.
This is kind of a question to the room.
Mm.
Maybe specifically for you, Dylan, because you were on Cock. So if it feels like this is what we had for Cock, stand back.
While they're looking at the plans.
Yeah, of course. Dean is.
So Jeff,
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so there's more string lights to be found.
Have to go along this wall. Here. Here.
Okay. So it sounds like we are missing some from the Talk is Free storage. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, I will follow up with Carlos about that.
Okay.
Dean? back to you.
Jeff, something to just put in your head. We're
Yes, please.
kind of working with a motif of a subway passing for certain transitions, the top of Act 2, possibly important sheet movement. Just something to put in your head if there's the possibility of some kind of lighting effect to go along with that, like lights passing of a train or something, just putting that in out there. See if there's anything
Cool.
for that. Thank you.
Happy. Thanks.
Wanted to ask, maybe this is a stage management question, also a Jeff and Eric question. Does a paper tech, like, is that something that's useful pre the 12th?
Eric and I wanted to meet at some point for a paper tech. Jeff, if that also is the thing you would like to do, that is great. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'll just leave it in your court to
Yeah.
schedule that.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that would be so good with the limited time that we have.
Totally.
Things more efficient. I love Lamp. Lamp, we love. Lamp is happening in one area of the stage, or do we have a good system for tracking the lamp moves?
The lamp is not in the play yet.
Okay, cool.
Because
TBD.
if there's a cable attached to it, it's not useful to us. So Jeff,
Yes.
Dylan, from work.
Hi.
That lamp is not essential to any staging yet in any way. It can be used anywhere we want. It fits our world really, really nicely. But running around with a cable with a lamp, like we change locations so frequently that it starts to push us into naturalism in a way that's not helpful. So just think about where, if anywhere, it might be useful. I've considered the possibility of it being in Bobby's land. Or using it as a ghost light at the very top of the show when people are coming in and Bobby strikes it before, something like that. So just have a think over the next, we have the rest of the year. Let's think about it for the rest of the calendar year. And then let's make a decision. But I don't think it's battery operated running around to different locations in the space. I think that's too complex for us to integrate at this point.
Totally.
Unless you have an epiphany or an inspiration, I'm happy to use it as a ghost light, maybe use it in Bobby's space if it doesn't wreck sightlines for anyone, or cut.
Totally.
Okay.
I like the ghost light idea.
Okay. Well,
I like the idea of like striking the ghost light to his world in a
I'm
weird
a
way.
big fan of that too. So let's shade off it and make it a golden ghost light. It's Aiden, everybody. Aiden's here.
Please welcome to the stage.
Our meeting.
Yeah.
Maybe another thing that I don't know, I could what I'm offering is if there are enough dimmers, I'd be curious if like is there a strategy where we can like hot patch the lamp? Like for one, like if there are two locations, maybe we could like plant two
Totally.
outlets, you know?
Yeah, that was a bit what my email response to this thought was the other day. Like we could scheme to have a couple spots where there's power for it.
Yeah.
Okay. Dean's got something cooking, so we'll get back to you.
Cool. So I think
Copy.
the strategy here, like once we start to play with the lamp,
Yeah.
like see where it's most useful. It sounds like the ghost light thing is like number one priority, and then anything we can afford after that, we can brainstorm.
Yeah, great. Amazing.
Excellent. Any other rentals needed on your end, Jeff, that you can think of?
I don't believe so.
I had a question around like birdies. I feel like that was like a thought that came out of our but I wasn't sure like if you were like, no, we don't need birdies. I'm gonna accomplish this in a different way.
I'd take them. I think we should buy all of the other things that we need to buy for fairy lights and balloons and whatnot before we think about that. Like see what our budget's left at. But if we had 4 birdies, I wouldn't say no to them.
The Bobby area is becoming quite populated now. There's Sierra sings a lot of another 100 people from in there.
Copy.
And so how we like I don't know what the plan A is for how we're lighting that spot, but it's now not just for Bobby, and there's house quite a bit now too, and they don't always need to be lit. They don't need to be specifically lit, but there's people in the house quite frequently now.
Cool.
Great. Okay. Thanks, Jeff. We'll move to Eric. Sound updates.
Yeah, I was in rehearsal yesterday. I have all my content. I'm just finishing up my file, and I'll be back this week to start playing stuff in the room. But yeah, the only thing that I'm kind of waiting on is some staging, and that Dylan and I have already spoke about, and this rental. That's pretty much it. So yeah.
In your plot, I'm wondering if you can kind of note where you're hoping some of the monitors will be. Like, I feel like we want a piano. Do we still want a piano monitor?
Well, we're trying to figure out, like, I think that right now we're kind of figuring out how well the acoustic sound is working in rehearsal. Like, Steph and I had a conversation about it yesterday, about whether or not the speaker that the piano is going to use, that's like on stage, basically where it is now, is going to be enough for the actors, or whether we need to hang anything else. I think it'll probably be okay without people being amplified. And then the only trick is going to be like making sure that we can route everything back to the soundboard, like the piano included, so that we can choose when the piano is coming out of the PA and when it's coming out of the speaker next to it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But I think that we're trying to have a pretty like cabaret sounding, acoustic sounding piano. So it's not going to be coming out of the PA all the time. It'll mostly be coming out of the speaker that's like kind of how it's set up right now.
Gotcha.
In the hall.
And that's sufficient for you and Aaron to hear yourself.
Two of us, yeah.
Yeah. And then it'll come out of the PA in like specific moments when like mostly when people are singing in the little like audience Bobby area and they need extra support to hear. And then maybe in sections that we find are if we find that it's being drowned out by voices, which I don't think will happen in bigger songs, but we're just gonna like I just want to have the options. So I guess that's just like a little note as far as like the routing goes for the piano, is that it'll have to go like all of it will have to go back to the console, and then we'll control it from the console rather than having anything going directly out of the piano. But that's pretty standard, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess maybe like I think that might maybe need a DI then too.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else for sound from sound?
Oh, yeah, actually, no, I'll put it in an email.
I'm just wondering, so there's no possibility for like even a hanging mic or two?
Oh, yeah,
We're
what's-
already coming across the sections.
Yeah, we talked.
Lines.
Steph and I talked about it yesterday. Steph and I talked about it hanging mics yesterday. Um, it's possible. First, I mean, first it'll depend on what the budget is sitting at in terms of renting these speakers, because that's the first thing we need to do. And hanging mics might be expensive, so we'll have to look at that. But it's possible. I think that it's the hanging mics are just tricky to use. Um, and they're only going to be helpful, like they can only really amplify everybody um, at once. So like I think that what we would want is like ideally we'd want to like raise levels of individuals, but that's just not going to be possible really. Um,
Yeah.
with hanging mics, we might like I'm thinking about if we're going to hang one anywhere, we might hang it above the Bobby area or hide it in the Bobby area if we can. Um, but I'm finding it a little bit tricky to imagine hanging mics uh, with this setup.
If there was one place to have it for not getting married today, which is so hyper articulated, when all three of them are singing, it's very difficult to hear the amazing work that it needs to do. If it was downstage, where she is blocked to be, it would help a lot. So even if it was just to support that moment, I'm sure there's other places.
The opening number, so we use 800.
Yes, yes.
We could put it in that spot as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay,
I
so
think,
go ahead.
sorry, I think the best, I mean, Steph and I talked about this yesterday. I think the best thing to do in terms of miking and support is toward the end of this week. Dylan, Dean, and Steph and I should have a little check-in about where the vocal mix is at. And I know we're still in rehearsal, but just about what moments need some support, if any. Like these flags are all great, but I think we should like let this first week, first and a half week kind of happen. And then we can check in at the end of the week. We can try to add a couple of mics as well in the air for specific moments. Yeah, the only trick with the hanging mics is that like it sounds like our issues are specific moments, and hanging mics are hard for specific things. They're very like general, uh, and the level of amplification we'll get from them is um, is just not, I think, not what we're picturing right now. So let's check in about it at the end of the week, though. Steph and I were going to do it anyways, and I can see the best way we can try to get some more support.
Yeah, I think also after the humble on Saturday, I think you'll get a full picture of like where are the problem spots, and maybe Dean, it would be nice to have your brain to kind of help support that. Yeah, and maybe my last flag is for Jeff as well. Like we have those two movers, and if like a mic is hanging by a mover, you're only going to pick up that. So maybe it's something to note in terms of like where are we? Yeah, what's the real estate up there, right?
Well, I'll be able to program them like I'll be able to, because they have a X error, X16 or X32. I should be able to program them so that they can on off. So we can at least try to hide the moves, whether they're on or like, yeah, but it's like it'll depend on where they are and
Totally.
as much as we can mitigate. But yeah.
Yeah, for sure. A bit of tweaking there. Okay. Thank you, sound. Thank you, Eric. Anything more for music?
Yeah, just very quickly.
Yeah.
If it turns out that I do need printing, is that something that's
It depends on how much, because I'm just basically using my printer at home. So
We don't have a printer here?
we do. It's not great or fast.
It's not fast.
Well, like it's one of the, like we pulled it out and stuff. We're not entirely sure if it's like super functional, and like it would be very like.
Okay, so to answer, why don't you tell me what you need and then we can do a print order. Yeah. It's for like music, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just I'm almost certain that it's going to be something like that.
Yeah.
case. I'm going to talk to them.
Yeah, my only concern is like, typically we would do it through the tipped office, but if car is not going to be there until the 12th, then you need it
Yeah.
before then. So we might just have to spend the money.
Yeah, and we should look at that printer because we've printed scripts and such on it before.
Okay.
So we should try to get it.
Right.
Yeah.
We were basically given it and told like it doesn't work very well. So we're like, okay.
Yeah, no, for sure. For
Right.
sure. But just in general,
Yeah.
it's like we should look at it. Yeah.
So, yeah, I just wanted to know what the options were. So that's good.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
Thank you. Corio?
Hi, I have a question about the couch. I don't know if that's a set or a prop thing,
Yeah.
but the felt that's being added onto the bottom of the legs. When can we expect that to happen? So that we avoid losing the couch when we're using it in rehearsal?
I can probably do it today. My only concern is that if it's moving so much, it's gonna like rip off. Like, so I'm just trying to think of like what are some fun things I can do to like really reinforce it. But yeah, I'm gonna do the felt pads. I'm gonna do the table and the squeakiness. I'm gonna deal with all those today. So yeah, I will be the Christmas elf.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we'll try that and then you can let me know if I need to rethink how I'm doing that. Okay, so for set, we have like 4 minutes left. The one thing that I wanted to talk about was the handrails. So about your comment, generally like anything goes for theater. Like
Yeah.
there is no regulation about like
Okay.
what can actors do or not do. If they're feeling unsafe, then we extraordinary risk rider it. Dustin,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong. But ultimately, like our due diligence is to like take them through. We like spike tape the shit out of it. Like we move everything in full light until people feel like they can do the thing within their bodies. If at that point it feels unsafe, then we think about additional support. So like handrails. The one thing that I do want to note is that handrails are going to like obviously impact what the stage picture looks like. If you're like, fuck it, we should do it anyways because safety is
Yeah.
number one. Absolutely, 100% on you. I think it does require a conversation with Faria, right?
Absolutely.
The other thing is that we do have those panels of fabric. That may make things worse or make things better, right? In terms of like where the threshold ends.
Right.
Yeah. It is
Yeah,
36
it's
inches.
been pretty clear that people
Yeah.
feel, I think because it's so narrow too, I mean, three feet feels, I think if you're coming out without in motion, it feels risky.
Yep.
And so I feel pretty clearly that they're not going to change based on staging, lighting, or tape.
Totally. I mean, if the context is like there's a lot of movement that's happening here and we can't really do that and think about the edges, then that makes sense to me. Does it feel like we want to do a 4 foot wide? Like, does 4 feet make things
I
better?
think 4 feet would make things much better.
Okay.
I don't think it would profoundly affect anything we've done staging wise, but I think it would feel like I could hit the center of this and feel like there's space on either side of me.
Okay. For production team, can we tape out 4 feet? See if that feels good in terms of like safety.
Yeah.
And then we just have to think about like, what does that mean for crossover? What does that mean for lighting?
Yeah,
What does that mean for hanging things? Because now everything will be shifted a foot upstage, right? Yeah, and then we can work on getting the 4 foot risers. Yeah.
You think that's
there's about
Okay.
most people are scared because of like,
Totally. Yeah, so let's see if it works in practice. And then if we're like, we're good with this, then we have our answer. If we're like, now we still feel really sketch here, then we'll do the handrail. Yeah. Okay, cool. We've got 1 minute. Anything from directing?
I think we covered everything as well. The only one thing is these side seats are real niche specialty seats. They are now going to be probably 5 and 5. Including hopefully if theater center approves one of the ushers. So they really are, they're very, they help the image of surrounding Bobby, but they're not going to be major parts of our audience. Most of it's going to be up front.
Yeah, so theater center will be back on the 12th. Everything happens on the 12th. First day of load-in. So Arcady is holding that conversation about like FOH and whether they're okay with that.
Yeah.
There, it might be good for you to come up with a plan B if like,
Oh,
if that's not a
it's not
FunFest
the end of the
thing.
world at
Okay.
all if they're not there. It's just,
Cool.
it helps me feel like, okay, sightlines are an issue for fewer people if,
Yeah.
if one's an usher
Cool.
or two are ushers. So
And can I ask a question,
Yes.
a favor of you?
Yes.
I loved your like very specific description of like how the seats are being managed on the sides. I could not follow it. I was like, what? I couldn't track like what was audience and what was not audience. Could you like either draw it out on the drawing or take a
right there,
photo?
right there.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Perfect. Great. Thank you. That's all I needed. Okay. Anything from producing before we close out?
Nope, nothing on my end.
Sick. All right. Well, that's it, folks. 10 o'clock. Great work.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, Carlos will run the next production meeting, and I think we've scheduled it a similar time. So be on the lookout for that update. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.